Hi Libra, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your April 2024 tarot reading. Thanks to those of you who like, viewed, shared, and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, the Celtic cross spread as always, and I also pulled the 4 agreements and wisdom of the oracle card for you guys. We're actually going to start the reading off by rolling those astrology dice we have in front of us to get an idea of where your focus should be as far as that goes. Alright, so we have 9 and 9th house energy for you guys as Gemini. Astrologically speaking, that's pretty quiet right now in the zodiac, but 9th house in general points to philosophy, higher learning, and foreign affairs. Right, we have Uranus, and Uranus is actually in Taurus, which is your 8th house, and 8th house in general points to death, rebirth, intimacy, and investments, and it will be moving into a conjunction with Jupiter this month too, so that could intensify this energy. And we have Scorpio. So Scorpio for you guys is actually your 2nd house of possession, self-worth, finances, and there will be a full moon in Scorpio toward the end of April. So makes sense to see that come up as well. But we'll keep those in mind as we go through the main spread. In the main situation position, we have the Page of Swords, and challenging that, we have the 5 of Swords. So seeing these two energies together, to me, says that you can have a little bit of hesitancy around communicating something, and the reason why that might be the case is because you feel like it won't be received well, right? So I feel like, at least for most of you, that's the reason. For others of you, yeah, there is at least a chance. Some of you might know that it's going to be something like this, but you still would engage it anyway. But yeah, for the majority of you, I feel like you'd rather avoid that, and that's what is causing you to be a little bit hesitant around communicating at this time. All right, in the foundation position, we have the Queen of Wands. So this is actually Aries energy here, and it could just be saying that that's maybe the reason why you're feeling that sudden urge to come forward and speak around the situation, right? The fact that we'll be in Aries season, and then also there's going to be a Mercury retrograde in Aries pretty much as soon as April starts. So that could be what's bringing the energy to the forefront for you guys as well. All right, in the past position, we have the Wheel of Fortune. So this is Jupiter energy here, and it could just be saying that this is something that you've thought over for a while, right? And maybe it just seemed in the past like, okay, yeah, the time might be right for me to kind of finally come forward and speak out around the situation. All right, in the present position, we have the 7 of Wands. So at least this is an indicator that for those of you who do choose to speak out around the situation, looks like, even though, yeah, you might be met with some resistance, looks like overall you will have the higher ground in the situation anyway. Now, given that this is Leo energy, for some of you this could be around your friendships or the groups that you associate with, where maybe you speak out about something, and like I said, yeah, you might face some resistance there, but it looks like overall you'll find yourself with higher ground overall, which would be the better way for that situation to go. All right, in the near future position, we have the King of Swords. So this is Aquarius energy here. And it could just be saying that after you go through that situation, right, it actually might make you feel more confident in yourself, like you're on more firm footing than maybe you thought previously, right? Going from the Page to that King energy. So it could just be saying that ultimately this is something that you need to get out of your system anyway in order to move forward. All right, in the position of your influence in a situation, we have the Tower. So, of course, this does remind me of the fact that at the time of recording this, we haven't had that full moon eclipse yet in your sign. That's going to be happening toward the end of March before we physically move into April. So for some of you, it could even just be pointing to that, right? Where maybe you guys have gone through a Tower moment coming into April, and then that's why you feel like you need to speak around the situation. But that doesn't necessarily have to be the case. Another way I can see this playing out too could just be saying that whatever this is that you're communicating, maybe there would be an opportunity for a Tower moment to come from that, right? So the key there and where it gets a little tricky, especially with a general reading, is to feel out for your situation. Like, okay, well, is it more likely that I would bring a Tower moment by speaking out around the situation, or would it be more likely that I'd bring about a Tower situation by not speaking up around the situation? In the environment position, we have the Eight of Pentacles. So at the very least, if you are worried about being faced with a bit of a combative environment around whatever this is that you need to discuss, to me, this is a sign that whoever you're dealing with doesn't seem to be in much of a combative mode at all. They might be more distracted than anything, but I don't feel that this would be pointing to them being necessarily combative at all. So it could just be one of those things where maybe you say what you need to say, and maybe it doesn't necessarily register fully in the way you'd hope. But at the same time, it could just be because they're just so preoccupied with other things that they're like, yeah, okay, Libra, I'll come back to that later, right? But if you are worried about conflict anyway, looks like you can be a little bit safer than you might think to at least express what you need to say. All right, in the hopes or fears position, we have the Justice card. So yeah, this could be a hope for the majority of you, right? Hoping that if you do come out and speak out around the situation, that there will be justice around it, right? That there will be fairness, that it will be met with fairness. And given that this is the major arcana card for your sign, maybe you're just hoping to feel more like yourselves, right? Where maybe when you're in that mode, you are more comfortable speaking up around injustices anyway, whether they're perceived or not. All right, in the outcome position, we have the Ten of Wands. So yeah, I do have to say that for some of you, you might continue to hold this in for whatever reason, right? And then in doing so, you might just feel like the burden is increasing on you. So just be on the lookout for that, right? So for some, it could just be saying by not speaking out. So yeah, remember I had the two scenarios. I was like, for some of you, it could just be saying by speaking out, you might be more likely to cause a tower moment. And for others of you, by not speaking out, it could be more likely to cause a tower moment. So seeing this here says to me that it might actually be that scenario where if you don't speak out around the situation, it might just ultimately be more of a burden on you, right? Holding this information in. So just something to be mindful of there. All right, and at the bottom of the deck, we have the Knight of Wands. So this is actually Sagittarius energy as well. And Sagittarius for you guys is your third house communication. So yeah, like I said, you might just be feeling this urge to finally speak out around the situation. Like I said, it's like some of you will still hold it in anyway, whereas for others of you, you will come out, speak out around it. And even if you are met with resistance, it'll make you feel more sure of yourselves after the fact. All right, moving on to your Four Agreements card, we have Don't Make Assumptions. There we go. And it says Be Yourself around others. Okay, it says the biggest assumption that humans make is that everyone sees life the way we do. We assume that others think the way we think, feel the way we feel, judge the way we judge, and abuse the way we abuse. We are afraid to be ourselves around others because we think others will judge us, victimize us, abuse us, and blame us as we do ourselves. So interesting message there, right? Because that brings me back to what I was saying for some of you, that ultimately not speaking out around what you want to say might feel like more of a burden on you eventually, right? So to me, that message there seems to align with that storyline, which is to say that, you might have this level of self-judgment on yourself that prevents you from fully expressing yourself and your authenticity, and then that might ultimately backfire in the long run anyway. So if that's your situation, hopefully that resonated with you. All right, moving on to your Wisdom Oracle card, we have 2 to see. There's the artwork, and the number is 7. Let's see what this has to say. All right, essential meanings says being in flow, returning to source, recognizing how pieces fit together, a natural pattern of events. The oracle's message: isn't it wonderful when you feel yourself in the flow of life, when events and conditions seem to engage you in a way that is fluid and effortless? This card reminds you that going with the flow is exactly what you need to do right now. Ride the wave of opportunity formed by perfect conditions. Allow trust and faith to guide you forward as you flow like a river into the sea of life. Yeah, definitely an interesting message there, because it does look like on the one hand there could be a feeling of flow, right? Because like we said, going from that Page of Swords to the King of Swords, but then seeing the Tower, and then also that Ten of Wands in the outcome shows that for some of you, though, you might not necessarily feel that energy right away. The relationship message says there are points in a relationship when you have to decide to go with the flow rather than dictate the course you share with another. Can you let go of the need to have things your way and allow the relationship itself, your combined goals and desires to steer the ship? Can you both transcend your personalities and allow the partnership to form its own identity, its own energy? Now is the time to relax and see where this mutual journey leads. So yeah, interesting message there, right? Because this doesn't necessarily seem like much of a romantic connection type of vibe, but with the Eight of Pentacles energy there, to me, if this is around a personal relationship, it looks like the other person would be willing to work on things as well. So for that resonated. And the prosperity message says everything seems to work out when you stop scrambling and allow the sea of opportunities to wash over you and wake you up to your most prosperous potential. To get into that flow, you need to address your beliefs about abundance and money. The true meaning of your personal currency lies in your skills and talents and abilities, and, most important, your core beliefs. Everything flows from your inner world and is reflected in the outer one. When, grateful to serve, you align your prosperity consciousness with a higher consciousness, you can expect miracles. Everything you need will come to you easily. So yeah, interesting message there as far as there's some kind of a message you need to get out there that you might not have the goal in mind to benefit from it financially, but maybe it would be an important enough message where it could actually benefit you in some way financially down the line. So hope it ever resonates with you guys. We'll wrap up there, and I'll see you all next month. All right, bye.